gonna get into
so there
we covered that.
Okay, I have a little clip Joe. This is from during the Barbie movie era. A little clip here before we start.
Yeah, there's certain people that are gonna go fucking crazy.
The whole point of this! Missed the whole fucking point!
And don't be those people. It just makes you look embarrassing.
No!
Okay.
Oh no, Joe's a misogynist. He's embarrassing himself, buddy. Oh, he's a weirdo, man. He just hates women.
Wow. The Barbie movie. He looks way skinnier.
That was 3 years ago and like 40 or 50 pounds ago. What the happened?
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Jesus. Joe, stay off the booze. For real. Honestly, man, your face is really red. It's not healthy. Not healthy.
No!
It just makes you look embarrassing. Oh man. To actually go to this film and get that upset over it.
This whole point of this!
Yeah, there's certain people.
Wait, and you can look at Alex and other Joe. They got like more muscular. Look, Ash.
Yes,
look.
They actually look better. They had a glow up.
Point of this!
Yeah, there's certain people that are gonna go crazy, and don't be those people.
Did you miss the whole point?
It just makes you look embarrassing.
Okay, so very, very funny. Now we're gonna go into the
So Warner Brothers executives are like, we were surprised by both the ferocity of the backlash and its reach, believing the culture had evolved past that sort of campaign. What campaign are we talking about here?
Women do well in movies and games if they're done well. That's it. That's how it works.
No, but like, are we really pretending you guys were surprised? You did this on purpose to create a scapegoat for this movie. You sent this bitch out here to say this stupid shit about lesbianism, to make chuds upset, so then you could blame the failure of the movie on chuds, when in reality, as Joe and pretty much everybody's admitted, it actually had nothing to do with why the movie failed. It's just that Supergirl, no one gives a about Supergirl, and the movie is and it's also woke, but it's not the woke backlash that caused it to fail. It's ridiculous.
Okay,
so Joe has decided to do a second. Here we go. Take 2. Will Joe figure it out this time?
As the cringe black Superman shirt, like it's his funeral. Get it, guys?
Yes.
It's the funeral to the DC. Okay, how do you review a movie a second time? That's in a day, in one day.
You know, it's not like months later, like it came out on home video, you watched it again. Like he went to the theater to go see this again. Why? Why would you do this to yourself, knowing it's
maybe it is good? Holy.
The deluge.
I'm in the I'm in the black super
the
suit.
Little chuckle. Yeah, I'm in the black Superman suit. It's so cringe, bro. This is the Fuhrer bunker, isn't it? Like Joe's just like downfall. Nine banging on the table. The Chinese box office will save the film. Steiner will rally the Chinese fans. My Führer, it's already been pulled from Chinese screens, sir. It made less than $1 million in China, sir.
What?
No!
Angry Joe.
Hey, because
the Blu-ray sales.
I went and saw.
Wait, you hear this?
Because unfortunately, I went and saw Supergirl.
What were you doing?
Saw the bad movie
it's like, listen. So I put my nutsack in a mousetrap and it hurt. So I decided to do it again. But you'd think you'd learn, like if a child learns not to put their hand on the stove after the first time, right? But he went, and this is the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. No, man. I must have just been in a bad mood. I was too drunk to understand the movie's genius. Let me go see this sober. And this is just like, he's just completely defeated in this review, isn't he? Like, he's just completely broken. Yeah.
So I've obviously removed 45 or more minutes of this review. A lot of it was just yapping about literally the exact same shit they brought up in the first review. Just to say, okay?
Well, second time, this time with the family over the weekend. And while they
He took his family?
Yeah.
What? What?
Trust me, guys, you'll hate it.
He's trying to single-handedly save the box office like I tried to do with John Carter in 2012 when I saw it 5 times. Listen, you can't single-handedly you can't single-handedly save the box office of this movie, Joe. Why don't you just donate your entire life savings to Warner Brothers, buddy? You may as well. Go ahead. Give it all to the corporate overlords. Go ahead, Joe.
That's
Did Phil miss the goal again? He didn't, guys.
How?
You're making that up. There's no way Phil missed the goal again.
Let me check. 1 second. I mean, you read that super chat, and I'll check.
We got Spruce Willis says, I got a black guy fired for handling my fried chicken with bare hands. He said, oh, son, you dumb up, no cap, B. And Over the Hill Ghostler said Supergirl had around $120 million marketing combined with the cost of the movie's production budget. Its break even is around $725 million. There's no way the executives thought it would ever make anywhere near $700 million, did they? Because Superman didn't even make $700 million. I don't think that is the actual break even point for the movie, but if it was, holy shit, that's bad.
There's no way.
Because if that's true, they're going to lose $500 million on this movie because it's barely going to make $200 million at best.
By the way, DSP made $107.
Everything works.
So
You have to keep
Phil missed the goal because his dent accidentally donated the $50 to Raw Phil and was out of money. No, Phil would have hit it if the dent actually sent the $50 properly. No, Phil, no.
Mostly as a fun popcorn flick. They actually, and while they enjoyed it mostly as a fun popcorn flick.
Well, his family enjoyed the movie. I doubt it. I don't think that any normal person would actually like Supergirl.
No.
I just don't believe it.
No, I don't. It's way too boring. If they just filled it with more action, you could be like, okay, well, it's full of
good old reliable popcorn flick, Cope. But it's not. It's not an actual action movie. Like, it's terrible.
I'm gonna be real too. I'm so sick of like aliens in space, bro. Like the Marvel or DC, whatever alien stuff.
It all feels the same. It all feels the exact same.
Yeah. It's like
give
AI,
us
right?
If you're gonna do it, give us something fresh or new. But
yeah,
it just feels so tired. Somebody said the entire movie feels like the Star Wars cantina scene, like trying to replicate it over and over and over again.
On the bus,
that's what it is.
On the bus, in the bar, all the cantina scene. And the aliens are all Star Wars style aliens. You're right. Mm-hmm. The blue Seth Rogen alien, right?
Yep. They actually agreed with me on the
Cybertron says, I don't know what's dirtier, Joe, or that 1980s looking carpet. Carpet looks full of alcohol stains. Why the does he have carpet? Like,
yeah.
And it does look horribly stained and filthy. Like, look over there. Look around the bottom of that chair. Like,
buddy.
What the like, he got white carpet? Like, what a
or get the steam cleaner out. You know what I mean? Like, go rent a steam cleaner.
It's like, there's awful mold under there and like,
buddy, and by the
once
way,
you get these spills into carpet,
these are not OLED. These are all regular monitors. Okay, I think that one's OLED. And now I'm being a little bit fucking crazy.
They done f it up, guys. They done.
Yeah,
we know,
us.
Joe.
You made the review. It was an hour long.
Is he gonna go for a third review? I think he has to own the chuds. Like, he has to.
Someone goes, it's just like, wait, we're doing this review again? Yes. We're doing the whole review, but now without Alex and other Joe.
Yeah, so it's just unmitigated seething with no intervention whatsoever.
Yeah.
Bro, he's looking rough, man. Those cheeks are flush.
You know who hated? You were saying on the preview video, who hated the movie? Jarbo.
Even Jarbo
loves everything that's bad.
When even Jarbo can't defend your movie as a contrarian wokester, you know it's over.
Jarbo dub? When someone said Jarbo dub?
I even talked with people that were walking out of the film after.
So he's talking with people out like while
a guy had recognized me and I got his opinion.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure this happened.
And everyone clapped.
Hey, are you $7 Sanchez? Why, yes, I am. Man, you've really been seething about this movie, huh? It's tough, eh?
Angry Joe.
Much the same. They messed it up. And so upon
he has to ask random people, was it that bad?
He's like, guys, you liked it, right? It was good, right?
No,
he just sinks to his knees screaming at the sky. No!
Yeah. Except it's the cringe, like there's no scream. It's just in space, the void that they basically stole from a Furiosa.
Wait,
they stole
are you that guy who got felted by Jeff Keighley? Is that you?
$7.
Second viewing, let's just get this right out of the way. On second
goes Angry Joe, more like greasy hair Joe. That hair is very oily right now.
I mean, you think it's hair gel? Slicked in there. It's just his natural alcohol grease he sweated out there. But you can see, zoom in, you can see in Joe's eyes, like not only the tears, but the schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Like if you just showed that to me, that's a fucking crazy person. Like that's actually a psychopathic killer who's ready to take you out. Like you can see like the 3 whites in his fucking eyes. Like,
yeah.
He looks dangerous. Yeah, these Sanpaku eyes. Like he's lost his mind.
Oh my God, look at this.
Yeah, Insane Ignacio.
The AJ banners.
What a mark. What a self mark, buddy. This is living space, and he's got like posters of himself up there in the room. Okay, Joe.
Angry Joe.
But I love like his sensibilities for this room are like that of a teenage boy. It's like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna have gaming chairs. I'm gonna have like a leather recliner with cup holders, dude. I'm gonna have like my Angry Joe Army banners in here, man. I'm gonna have carpet
and the
like
G Fuel.
Shit.
This is like me in high school.
It looks like shit.
This is me in high school.
Mini fridge.
So cool.
This is my man cave, bro. I got all the G Fuels, dude. I got my sweet gaming PC.
Does he have bread just wrapped up back here? Do you see this? Is that like a loaf of bread that's tied up at the end? Ash, do you see that?
Is that he just has a bag of bread out on his his table for some reason?
Chat, is that bread? Press
are those
one.
No, those are tortillas.
Yo,
those are tortillas. Does he have like a little container of refried beans that he spreads on it underneath there? In queso?
Did you change your opinion? You're gonna watch it 6 more times and the score gonna go up? No. I liked Superman because it had good message. It executed on that message, and it did it right. At the end, he's smiling. He's got a wonderful... He realizes he has a wonderful set of parents this whole time. And as he takes in all of his vacation videos and moments with his family...
No one cares, Joe!
It's really what makes him a good person. And
everybody's going to forget about this. This is going to be the least remembered and least iconic version of Superman. They're pulling the plug, Joe. No one's going to give a more people are going to remember Brendan Ruth than this guy. Seriously.
I don't know who that is.
Cringe.
Oh, that one. I remember.
And too fast paced with the Roblox speed and the Minecraft editing.
Minecraft. Ash, did it have Minecraft editing?
No.
What does that even mean?
Like, what are we talking about?
Superman for a new generation that gets all the messaging right, and what it is to be a good person and to be a symbol of hope for others, and to be this big goofy.
Give us a break.
And yes, Superman.
Do we have to keep seeing the same movie over and over?
The message is so important, guys. I mean, sure, the movie's ass and Superman was a little bitch in it, but the messaging was that we all need to be kind to illegal immigrants. So we have to support it. Okay, Joe.
Man is goofy. If you can't handle a little cringe or a little goofiness in your Superman, then you're not really. I mean, Superman's not for you. You might.
Oh my! You're not a real fan if you don't like the utter amounts of cringe and.
Want to try Batman, but none of that. None of it is in Supergirl. In fact, upon second viewing, I thought it was worse.
Okay, did you, Joe?
Oh, look at how defeated he is. Oh, no. It was even worse than he ever imagined.
Yo.
Oh, no.
Sad Joe.
I took notes this time in the theater. Sat in the back. Had my phone under. I didn't bother anybody, but...
So he's typing out notes in the movie theater with his family there? So his family's sitting next to him and he's like, so this part sucked.
Imagine having to take notes for this. You've already saw it once before.
You know what I mean?
And you just know the whole family's so embarrassed. Oh, there's Uncle Joe again.
Oh, man.
He's an embarrassment.
Wait, he said he went again? Wait,
yes.
So 3 times? No.
This is the second time.
Okay, yeah. Well, someone in chat was saying that, but no.
It was worse. And I've got individual scenes that really bothered me. But
did it?
It all comes down to bad writing.
He almost cried there. Did you hear this? Listen.
He really is on the verge of tears.
It all comes down to bad writing.
Is that not like you're about to cry? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Misunderstanding of the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic. Let me get it. When you adapt something,
not the book, bro. This is his Bible. This comic book sucks, Joe. Nobody cares. But it is amazing that they didn't even read the book that they were adapting. It is amazing. So let's have a listen.
Yeah, this is actually very Kino.
You're not supposed to make it work.
Yeah. I think he says it later or something. But apparently, the guy who made the first version of the script literally never read the book. He had
Base.
I guess point.
Well, none of them ever read this book. I guarantee you, this script was just created by ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Straight up. Give us an adaptation of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Oh my God, you're right.
Here it is.
You're actually right. It is AI.
The woman didn't give a f. She didn't actually adapt it. She didn't read it. When she gets asked questions, she doesn't know what happened in the book.
Co-written by Claude?
There is a reason.
I'm gonna be real. Claude would write it better. It's ChatGPT.
Then why?
Not even the latest version. It's the previous.
This is one of the best-selling comics, especially for Supergirl. It's Supergirl's best-selling comic. There's a reason.
Define best-selling.
Is it? What's that called?
Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow one of the best-selling?
Well, no,
comics?
I'm sure it is one of the best-selling comics, for Supergirl.
Yeah, no, it is.
How many books did it sell?
250,000.
That's nothing. That's fucking garbage. So, no, I'm reading here they were selling between 22 and 26,000 books per issue. Yeah. I don't find that very impressive.
Well, total sales is 250K.
Yeah, 8 comic books and you only sold 250,000. So 20,000 people know this story, roughly. And you think that that's enough to have a blockbuster film? It's not. This is ridiculous. And that's that's the top of comic books, which just goes to show you, no one's reading this.
Man, that's bad, dude.
Yeah.
Season. So you took the
I'm
story.
saying those are the shipped. So they count if the comic book is shipped to the store as a sale.
Okay.
So it may not have even fully sold through. That's bad.
Oh,
You done fucked
a shipped, not sold.
it up. But she grows over time. Joe said that she was annoying. I didn't find her that annoying because I saw this version of Ruth
Well, other Joe's not here to contradict your.
in her. And she's pretty
I'm just
accurate
gonna
with
lie.
that. But
by
you
the
just
way,
didn't
you want to
have
hear one of his copes, by the way, on
Oh.
Twitter?
Sure.
Was because they were like, well, OJ and Alex, like they were right about this, Joe, you're an idiot. And he's like, oh yeah, would you like to know what their opinions are on your precious Trump? Spoiler, they don't like him. And the guy just felt to Joe, he goes, I'm sure they don't like Trump, but they know better than to inject their political opinions into their reviews and be biased.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, Joe. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to know how to like sell to your audience. You aren't a political show, Joe. You
enough time, or the film didn't depict her growth as well. Suddenly she becomes a superhero at the end, just taking out super strength brigands. Aren't they supposed to have super strength? At one point they hold a tank
gonna
with a
rage
single
here in a
arm
sec.
and Ruthie chokes one out.
okay?
That doesn't make sense, guys.
well, no, it doesn't.
Was released today that the writer Anna
Him desperately
I hate to put
flipping
this
through
on
the comic
just one
book is
person's-
so funny.
You gotta see this. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is good.
released today that the writer Anna, and I hate to put this on just one person's shoulder. I'm sure Craig had some. Actually, Craig had a quote that said, "I didn't even bother to read the comic before I drafted up my first pitch."
The director didn't even read this garbage book. Base.
That's so
Something-
Kino, bro.
But
It was
I
AI,
thought
right?
that-
It was AI for sure.
Bro, come on. This was like straight up either some Indian or AI wrote it, and this
Yeah.
bitch took
Oh.
credit for it.
That wants to leave. That wanted to leave.
That's not a good start, buddy. That's not a good start for his visual pitch. That might be why your movie looks like
What?
why it looks like and you didn't take
It does
anything.
look like
It looks
shit.
this CG, bro. Look at this, Ash. This is AI CG.
anything from the
I
comics.
just don't know where the money went. Like, I just can't believe they really spent 175 million on this.
Oh yeah, dude, it's crazy, man.
Here's the confirmation that Anna had no understanding. She didn't grasp the themes.
Yeah, she is
that
a
were in the
DI hire. See, Joe, this is what's crazy though, is that Joe will say all the movies not woke. There was nothing woke about this, but obviously Anna was a DEI hire, Joe, who was hired simply because she was a Hispanic woman, so that they could say, oh, there's a woman of color, there's a POC, it's her vision for this, Joe. But she didn't give a fuck about the characters or anything. That's just the reality. Oh, there was nothing woke that caused this movie to fail. The screenplay, Joe, you blind bastard. But of course, we can't point out the obvious, that she's a clear DEI Nepo hire. Or, like, no, we can't, right? Because that's wrong, Joe.
comic. Instead, she moved her sword.
No, someone makes this point, and it's so true. It always sounds like Joe has a mouthful of saliva. He's talking like this. He's trying to hold in his saliva, and I'm talking. It's like, buddy, come on, swallow the. It's true.
He's just worked up. He's just frothing at the mouth.
He's-
So worked up about a children's comic book. Like, whoa.
Swiftly through the air and stabbed down through the chest of the kneeling brigand. But you have to understand that
Watch
the
this.
narration that has been going on the entire time, there is an unreliable narrator. You have to take everything in context. There's a little nuance. Again, nobody understands nuance anymore. But you can even see, let's say you don't even see that, and you just look at the visuals. She is an old woman smacking him with her cane. That's her smacking him with the cane.
By the way,
falls down.
I love how the cope for why they couldn't do this is because they couldn't do a time skip. And my answer to that is why not? Why couldn't they do a time skip?
Movies never
Plenty
do
of
time
movies,
skips.
plenty of movies do time skips. Like, why couldn't they do it? I don't know. Like, Joe just accepted that excuse, but I didn't.
Oh, Ash, quick update. Frogan has to pay $180K.
Oh no, that's never getting paid. We've got a bankruptcy alert. Bankruptcy alert.
Oh no.
Oh no. Shuffle Hijabi the Hut. Shuffle bear.
He even goes, ah, like this. You see, he's like, ah. And he puts his head down, and I guess she when he puts his hand down, she interprets that as him dying.
Well,
So the writer was just completely
she wrote
completely incompetent. But the chuds were wrong, though. The chuds were wrong, right, Joe? This, like, at a certain point, like, are you gonna put any blame at the feet of James Gunn or Craig Gillespie or anybody? Like heads have to roll over this, Joe. This is a disaster. It's an embarrassment. But you're going to sweep for Gunn continuing to be trusted with this universe after this? Why do you magically think that everything's going to turn around with the next movie? Because you gave the first Superman movie a 6 out of 10, and you gave this a 4 out of 10. So I just, like, why do we need this to continue exactly?
That was not the point of the story. And I guess it's ambiguous if you're dumb. No, okay. Some people might think that he dies, fine. But they didn't want to spell it out for you. Upon repeat readings of the comic, you get it. You will get it.
How many times did you read it? Like, are we really meant to believe this guy has been reading this every day? Over and over and over again? Like, this is sad, really.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like,
move on.
He's read it like 10 times.
It's a movie. Like, just move. It's done.
You think that something else would, even though it's right here. It's right here. And upon second viewing, they made Lobo worse. I was over here trying to make excuses for.
See, like,
he admits it. He admits it. This is what we were all saying. You wanted to pump it up. Had they not been there, and this was a solo Angry Joe review, it would be getting a 7, if not an 8 out of 10. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
It would not be getting any lower than a 6. I think it would be a 7 out of 10. But because Alex and OJ were there to call him out on his lies, he had no choice but to give it a 5 out of 10. And then it would downgrade to a 4 out of 10. And here he is admitting he's making excuses. So you're admitting that you're defending the movie. He's like, no, I never defended the movie. You're making excuses for the movie. That's defending the movie, Joe. It's time to stop coping. It's time to stop, bro.
But in the last review that we watched, right, he's off Lobo. Lobo's the best part of the movie. It's incredible. He was the greatest character ever.
Joe actually loved the movie. And Joe worships the movie. But he has to try and save face because nobody else liked it. So he has to pretend like he hated it when he actually loved it. That's how sick this man is.
Not a bad point.
Lobo, or trying to search, like, I viewed him as an absolute badass. But they're right. When he's in prison, he is legitimately captured.
How could you
Yes, Joe invented an insane headcanon while accusing Alex of making up a headcanon. Like, that was how it was. Where Joe was just actively gaslighting Alex that what Joe had made up was real and what Alex had actually seen in the movie wasn't. That's how crazy it was.
Bro, how do you trust Joe now reviewing movies? So you watch movies and make excuses as you review the movie? What the
I mean, I gotta say, it's not really that serious, but it is!
It is!
Crucify him! Because he takes it this serious. Like, he's in fucking tears about this shit.
Do you
I
notice
read
too?
the comic book 10 times.
Do you notice that his game reviews always come out like 3 weeks after it's released?
Yeah.
So everyone's already had their opinion, and it's just like a
Yes.
like combined opinion of everyone's review. That's what it is, right?
I thought it was
He
a
blames it on like the skits or whatever.
He says a hunter set traps. So I thought he let himself
Nobody
get
likes
captured,
the
but there's
skits, by the
logic.
way.
No, they're terrible.
Everybody has been saying to remove the skits for years.
Since
So far
they
as I
started
know,
skits.
Since they started, I think the only guy who still does skits is Nostalgia Critic. You know?
It's so bad. I remember it said, you don't have to.
Problems with that is like, why? Well,
Who's the black
maybe
guy?
this
What's
way
his
he
name?
can destroy the
Malcolm.
Does
other shit
Linkara
later.
even still do skits? Does anybody know? I haven't seen a Linkara review in an eternity.
People like the skits. People are
Somebody
mad.
asked,
People like the
Is
skits.
Nostalgia Critic still alive? Somebody asked. Yes, he's
I
still
watched
going.
his video on the Supergirl.
Every week. Every
Yep.
week.
Or he can get other stuff and then get his target and get out. But because his target takes his bike at one point. But I thought he was intentionally doing
He
that.
keeps looking at this book. Like magically, it's going to give him an
yeah.
out.
Or it's going to fix the movie in some way. Or like, no, guys, I swear there really was a good story. No, there wasn't. This book sucks, Joe. And you know that.
That because when Ruthie goes around, he goes, "Aren't you forgetting something?" And I thought he was talking about something else, but I think he's talking about letting him out. And she comes over, and initially I thought he kicked the door before she unlocks it.
No.
See, Joe created a scene.
Joe gaslit himself to try and excuse the movie's failures.
This doesn't
He
make any fucking
brainwashes
sense.
himself. He creates false memories. And this thing, we're supposed to trust his version of reality and his politics when he cooks up false memories to support his version of the truth.
You're
Why would we-
You're Nerdrotic fans. You're As's fans. You're Disparu's fans.
They didn't bother to
Yeah, he is worse than AI. He's like AI hallucination.
explain it. A cage like this cannot hold somebody who has the strength of Superman on the Superman scale and level. Was he weakened? Did he have poisoned? He
You
didn't
have to
mention-
come up
Did he
with
have poisoned?
headcanons to cope. Did he have poisoned? Okay.
Because there was poison or whatever.
The top of the spikes are poisoned, but
But
at no point
he
did
has
they
an
show-
immunity to poisons. Like he has like a Wolverine healing factor. I don't know. This is
You were
retarded.
seething about that about this section too, and yeah, it made no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
that he's poisoned. By the way, that's another thing that they cut. There was apparently like 2 or 3 more scenes with Superman, which everybody agrees, even people I talked to outside of the theater, those were the best parts.
So he's chatting.
No,
with
they
them?
weren't. They were. Oh my god! Every scene with Superman was awful. What is he talking about?
Superman was there. So that gives
They just want the feeling of a movie that did better. They want anything, like they're any out.
me hope that when Superman's next film comes, they were like, man, that was the best parts of Supergirl. We're here for Superman. So I'm hoping for that.
What? So you want more Superman? So the next movie you're more excited? That's unhinged, dude.
Also, like on the Lobo, I forgot Lobo said, "See you tits." He called.
Watch this. Hear this.
He called Supergirl tits.
Listen to
having a mental break.
That's misogynistic. That's sexist, but it's there. This isn't the film.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's misogynist.
It's not woke.
It's sexist. Oh my god!
See?
Oh guys!
He goes,
See,
see,
guys?
it's not woke.
Oh my god, we've got a fucking triggered pussy alert! Triggered pussy alert! What?
Well, he's using that as an excuse to go,
my
see,
God.
it wasn't woke. He called her tits. How could you think? Like, hear this. Hear this.
But
This
it's
is some
there.
real cock
This
shit.
isn't the film's not. This film's not too woke, as people online would say.
No one, everyone's just saying it's a bad movie. Like,
so his excuse for why the movie failed is that it pandered to chuds. Really? Is that the excuse we're going with now?
I don't even know.
So the movie was right wing because he said, "Hey, tits" to Supergirl, who doesn't even have tits. Okay, sure. Yeah. Joe, this is the chud's fault. Yeah.
Angry. This one just goes, huh? I know.
That's not the
triggered
problem.
Tito.
Often it's not the problem. Often it's really bad writing and a weak script. In this case, all the performances, I would say all the performances, even Krem, were good.
No, they weren't. Oh my God. No, Joe. How can you say this? Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
It's genuinely a really badly acted movie.
The actress for Ruthie, he thinks that's a good performance.
Buddy.
The flattest, stilted performance. Same thing with Krem.
Acting.
It was awful, Joe. There was not one good performance in the movie other than Jason Momoa, and it was a cartoon. Okay?
But it was real. Jason Momoa wasn't even that good.
No, that's what I'm saying. He wasn't even.
Yeah,
it was just like I'm
it's
smoking
just he
a cigar.
wasn't as bad as everyone else. Like, it was like, that's why. Also, that main actress, whatever her name is, Mycock or Milcock, whatever her drunk acting was like
it was
pretending to be
unbelievably bad. But even like people pretending to be drunk are better than that.
Yeah,
you know, it was
exactly.
just awful.
Like, she's never been drunk before, but she has because she was drunk in the interviews.
They're doing the best with the material that they were given, but how Anna,
were they?
Who has zero experience, she wrote like, I don't know, like a short thing or something like that. How she gets to helm the second film in the DCU.
DEI, Joe. It's woke.
Big and so important. Yeah. It might have just been too much for her. And it's also James Gunn's fault because he said, quoted, I read every script. I'm not going to greenlight a script until the script is good. And this one...
So you just faithfully believed James Gunn?
I believe James Gunn. He'll never screw me. Come on, Joe. How naive are you? Come on, man.
It's crazy.
Might have been good on paper, but it didn't. No, because the ending choice. The ending choice was...
But if the ending was changed, it would still...
Like, I'll Joe's be real. Whole thing it would make no difference at all.
Zero difference.
Seriously. Because the thing is, right? She still killed hundreds of people before that point.
Yeah.
She's like laser beaming guys' heads off, blowing people up.
But also the movie in general was drab. The acting, it was boring. Like, if the ending was good, it wouldn't fix all the shit. You could put a cherry on a pile of shit, still a pile of shit, okay?
It was made a long time ago, and he knew what the ending choice was. In fact, it's actually James Gunn's fault.
Does he want me to believe that if the ending was changed, we would all love it? Like, we'd all, oh, it's actually amazing.
I don't even think he believes the stuff he said. Like, he's just throwing out anything and everything, like, to try and fix it.
Literally.
For the needle drop, I want on the DVD to try to save this film, choose one of the other choices.
A DVD to try and save this film. Ending. So now the cope is the Blu-ray will save the movie. Joe, there is no edit of this movie that can fix it. It's fundamentally broken, Joe. It's trash, Joe.
Wait, does he want a Snyder-style cut?
Yes. He's like, give us the Gillespie cut, which Gillespie claims there is a Gillespie cut that has 30 additional minutes of material that fixes the movie.
Please, God, no. No. I
want to see it because I bet you it's even worse.
I bet you.
It probably makes it even worse, bro. Like, just because there's more piled on doesn't make the smell like roses. It's just more.
There's not 30 more minutes. It was an hour and 50-minute movie. So we're talking
about
ended.
2.5 hours it would be so boring and so long.
Okay, put in the alternate ending, change everything, and put in the different.
Wait, change everything? Yeah, they're gonna change
Okay.
everything.
Yeah, I'm sure. Why don't they just refilm the whole movie, Joe? Yeah. Let it go. It's over.
Change everything for the Blu-ray, CGI, a new movie.
Fucking needle drop song. No after credits.
By the way,
it's just so.
the needle drop. Putting a different song isn't gonna fix the movie. Like it's. This is insane. What guys, if there was just a different song on that needle drop, then everybody would have liked it. No, Joe.
Fuck, that's funny. Yeah, remake the whole movie with AI.
Weird. It's almost like they're saying, yeah, this film ain't worth it. It's not worth it enough. It's not worth it for you to stay. It's almost like they're saying, yeah, no after credits. It's just so weird. It's almost like they're saying, yeah, this film ain't worth it.
They knew. They were like, listen, this is the worst movie we've ever edited.
They all knew it was a dirty stink bomb from the beginning.
Yeah.
But you know what? This is the movie they wanted to make. They wanted to make it like this. This is what James Gunn's vision was. It's awful.
It's really bad.
It's not worth it enough. It's not worth it for you to stay to the end of the credits and we'll see all these people that did hard work. Even
who gives a? Do you read the credit? Like, what kind of?
Are we actually crying tears for like the grips on set and like the fuck?
Man, the gaffers.
Oh,
how could
what
they
about?
Ever?
What about the visual effects artists in China, bish? Like, okay.
Not the Taiwanese animator for the left boot of Superwoman.
Oh my god, Joe! They all got paid already. You know that, right? Like they went and did a job that they got paid for, and they're in the credits. Like we got to sit there and read the credits and be like, "Thank you for your service, John Argot. Thank you for your service, Becky." Like, no, bitch.
The poor unit transportation coordinator.
Does he salute? Does he stand on guard like a soldier during the whole thing and like cry with his hand over his heart?
Yeah, it's like the national anthem, you know what I mean?
They're like his family or something. It's unhinged.
If you look at some of the sets and stuff, it's actually pretty cool and a lot of practical effects that they then hide with muddy.
The bar and the bus.
Oh, right. Yeah, they were great sets. I'll definitely remember them on my deathbed. Shut the up. It's the most forgettable drab pile of garbage, buddy. Like
visuals and dark. Everybody's in dark.
I think Fallout TV show had better sets. I'm not kidding. And that show was mid as
phases and it just sucks. Yes, it does have a lot of action. Yes, there are some cool.
No, it doesn't. I was begging for action.
There was no action. There was nothing that was cool. Like at least with like Man of Steel, there was like Superman and Zod are like smashing through multiple buildings and like it was like the closest thing to a live action Dragon Ball Z I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And there's just nothing on that scope or scale in this movie. There's nothing where you go, holy shit. It's just awful.
Well, and also, as I was saying earlier about the alien, right? There's something that we disconnect ourselves from when you see it happening on an alien planet, as opposed to humans being affected, where you could connect and go, imagine I was there watching this blow up. The alien planet, you're like, I'm watching a video game, basically. I'm watching Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's not like that level, you know?
Here and there, and I think that Millie does a good job as a Supergirl.
No, she did not.
I forgot.
She did not do a good job. The whole performance was really cringy, Joe. She was not likable at all. You know, people don't like that. I don't know what to tell you.
And I think that Momoa does a great Lobo. And
Sure,
people
like
gave a shit because
it's not very hard to do a good Lobo though, right? Because I don't know, like if you know, but Lobo was created just as a parody of edgy, grimdark cartoon characters from the 90s. He's literally a parody that people liked because they were so into grimdark in the 90s that they bought into it. But he's about as one note edgy like as it gets. Right? It's not hard to do Lobo, right? Like
the ending of one of my trailer reactions. I'm like, go out and support,
Oh, hear this, Ash.
because the ending of one of my trailer reactions. I'm like, go out and support, Supergirl. See the Superman. My audience knows how much I like Superman. I'm gonna let's go out and support. I told people to go see Black Adam, for Christ's sake.
that's sad.
That's crazy.
That's sad. So you're that much of a corporate shill where you're telling people to support garbage like Black Adam and Supergirl. Right. But you're the champion of the people. No, don't buy Madden. No.
Yeah, no, it's the same shit
even
every year,
though
right?
Even though plenty of people actually love Madden, whereas nobody loved this movie, right?
But Ash, isn't that a great point where it's like you cry about Capcom being whatever or Madden being whatever?
Well, that was my big problem is he tells people all the time that are fanboys of certain IPs, don't pre-order the game, don't buy the DLC, don't let them exploit you. But he's there day one in costume to buy tickets for him and his whole family multiple times to go see this slop, even when he knows it's garbage and he already saw it once before and knew it was garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So he's everything that he hates, really.
I'd say worse.
Because I wanted Henry Cavill to get another shot as Superman. And that was a bad film. I don't give a about telling people, go see bad films. Sometimes you have to see them.
No, you don't! You gotta go see these bad movies so we can get more slop to consume. No, Joe, no.
Like, if you said watch it, like, pirated, I'd go, okay, whatever. But you said go out and support them and support your boy.
This is Stockholm Syndrome. This is crazy. Like, he's just completely buck-broken by Warner Brothers.
I don't understand, man. Like, that's
you
crazy.
You gotta eat that shit, boys.
Bad film. Or how
like how you would say it would be, go watch it if you want to watch a horrible movie and to, like, make fun of it. That's the only way to promote something like that.
Bad it is, so that we can talk about it. And
But see, look, this bullshit.
So sometimes Superman,
hear this.
And that was a bad film. I don't give a fuck about telling people, go see bad films. Sometimes you have to see a bad film or how bad it is, so that we can talk about it and I'll hilarious.
But you didn't promote it as it was going to be a bad film, so you could all watch and have a book club type thing where you're all, like, criticizing
it. This is ridiculous. This
is
ridiculous.
Yes, it is. But in this case, we wanted to support it so we could see more Superman, so we could see the DCU do well, so we could see a Lobo film. I don't know.
There's not going to be a Lobo film, buddy. Come on. You know this.
Who the cares about Lobo? I'm going to be real. I never heard about Lobo until this whole thing.
No,
like,
no, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Like, I'm saying Lobo, like, I've known him I've discovered him a week ago when I saw the trailer.
Be a Lobo film now. I'm extremely worried that they're like, nope, this is not going to.
Don't be worried. It's for sure. They are like, no.
One of the big, you almost.
Oh, he's in that Superman cartoon, but man, I haven't seen the Superman cartoon in like 20 years.
I never watched it. I didn't like Superman, but like,
I mean,
not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
I was a Spider-Man and Batman guy.
Easy to follow.
Batman Beyond? Anyone? That was sick.
Into that trap is like, she's a woman, and that's why she picked James Gunn likes her. She's hot, or some. No, there's a story. Like I was.
No, wait. What?
Oh, is he easy to fall into that trap? Is like, she's a woman, and that's why she picked James Gunn.
Everyone said she had no experience.
Yeah,
that was the main criticism.
I mean, she has no experience, so why else did she get the job, Joe? Obviously, it's like a DEI or a casting couch hire, Joe, or both. Okay.
I wonder why people
Because there's no
criticized.
yeah, I wonder why, Joe. Wonder why people thought this.
I like her, she's hot, or some bullshit. No, there's a story. Like, I was genuinely curious because I was like, why would you let somebody with no experience fuck this up? And then
Wait, what? So you're allowed to go, she has no experience, but we're not allowed to be like, she has no experience, so was she hired because she's a woman for DEI? It's like the same conclusion on both.
You're never allowed to bring that up because that's sexist and you're a bigot.
Oh, but then you could bring up Christian families and Christian men, right? As the
actress? Got Jay Caesar, because seeing bad movies is only something people like Doug do because they do it for a living. Angry Joe doesn't review bad movies for a living. He kind of does, though. But I get what,
almost, right?
Yeah. And we got Importer Exporter says it's seething at the cinema, featuring your rotund host, Ritardo Montalban. Grab the popcorn for a sub. We've got Mr. Joe Soda says Joe gets what he deserves. I hope Paramount cancels the whole James Gunn universe and shelves DC after Batman Part 2. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And we got Bad Button Masher says I watched the movie for free and still want a refund. Capo813 says, just to put it in context, Batman the Killing Joke has sold over 1 million copies. So that's like an actual success.
Yeah.
As opposed to 22,000 copies. Like, off. And Demon Psychiatrist says it's truth, justice in the American way, not the Mexican way, bish.
She's probably Sneedfried in chat goes, instead of cinema sins, it's cinema seethes. Very funny.
It really is, though.
Give her Teen Titans and Wonder Woman? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What did she do? What dirt does she have?
So now you're accusing...
so now she's blackmailing people, right? Is that better than saying she's a DEI hire, that she's nefariously blackmailing people? Like, with what? Okay.
And so I needed to know more about this instead of just, blaming that she's a woman and it's DEI and all this other stupid shit.
Also, you have to have your own headcanon.
He has to create his own headcanon, Cope, rather than just the Occam's razor that, there's a bunch of DEI hires in Hollywood these days. Gee, this one sure looks like a DEI hire. No, we can't, right? It has to be that she blackmailed James Gunn. How? Did she... Like, what happened?
It just refreshed on me, but we had Ralph ass crack. Oh, here it is. Do you want to see it?
What sort of a question is that?
Okay, here.
Oh, no! His ass is cracked! It's a full moon tonight, Worski. Oh, no, buddy.
That you see on YouTube. Well, here's the story. It sucks when you do a bad job on something like this that you feel the effects and you possibly get fired. I hate it when people get fired.
I hate this whole, sometimes people need to go.
Care. Yeah, honestly, a lot of the time it's a good thing when mongoloids get fired. It's addition by subtraction. Like, if you have people that aren't contributing or an actual net negative to the team, it's better to get rid of them. Like, what are we talking about? So it's like a charity? Hollywood's a charity?
Yeah.
I guess, right?
I've said it before, but it's like corporate welfare. These guys believe that corporations should hire people for welfare. Like, oh, you're
but then he's like anti-corporate, right? But it's like this weird mentality where everybody is like entitled to a job that pays insane amounts of money to do fucking nothing, and God forbid they ever be forced to work overtime or meet a deadline or whatever. It's like, you just live in a fucking law fantasy land, don't you, Joe?
Yep. Adult daycare. Great point.
think maybe she might do a better job on a different film, maybe. But I guess adapting this comic,
exactly
not understanding this comic, and not staying true to the thing that you're adapting really fucked you over. And so the lack of comedy, the muddy visuals, all this, it brings it down to below average. It's a 4, and
so it's still a 4.
Why review it again?
What are we? It's just a circle, right? Like, what he really wants is to be able to talk at length without Alex or other Joe giving him a reality check. Is really what it is.
I was about to say that.
I don't even know why he, has them around. If he just was going to talk over them and disregard them and disrespect them like he does.
Well, and also I like how it's like their reviews, right? Their number doesn't mean. It's not like the three of them average all their reviews. It's just the final verdict is mine.
Well,
Alex.
here's the thing. The whole thing is completely arbitrary, right? Like, Joe will cry because Chuds are giving it 1 out of 10 on IMDb, but he gave it a 4 out of 10. But both of you agree it's a rotten piece of shit, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what is the real difference? Like, it's obviously not good. We're recommending people not see it. So it's all just nonsense, really.
And how is it a 4 out of 10? The scenes, it was boring. It f***ed the ending. It f***ed the characters. It was drab. They didn't read the original book. Like, where is the 4?
Where is the positives? Like, he basically said all the performances are good, which they weren't. But, like, that's all that he has.
But everything else sucked. Yeah.
We got Grab the Popcorn says he's on vacation, but wanted to say hello to his favorite Canucks.
Thanks, man.
And then Jay Caesar says, I think being part of To Boldly Flee broke Joe's sense of taste when it comes to movies. P.S. There's a 90-minute cut of To Boldly Flee on YouTube. Well, if they cut it to 90 minutes, they ruined it.
No, we have
the
to
whole
watch
point
the
is that it's 4 hours long. Like, you can't watch only a 90-minute version. That would ruin Doug's creative genius. Like, what, did it cut out the whole Mecha Kara arc, buddy? With Zod? You can't do that.
Me and you, remember that movie we watched? Like, it took so long, bro.
We were watching this, like, instead of editing the movie, we were sitting there watching these Channel Awesome movies
10 hours
till like 10 in the morning. It was like a 12-hour Channel
The sun was
Awesome
out, and we're like, we didn't do anything for work.
Yeah, you can't cut the Lindsay Ellis scene. And then we got Big Bolivian Cock says the reason why Joe has Alex and other Joe is because, like Jer with Melanie and Hannah, he needs to show his superiority over better people to feel better. I think so, right?
Mm-hmm.
Similar. It's like an ego trip for him. Yeah.
Exactly.
Second viewing, and if I have to see this thing a third time,
third time.
If you,
how many times do you have to get up the ass to know you're not gay?
Grab the popcorn. I said she's a woman silly, by the way, in response to you. There you go.
It's probably going to be a 3, okay? But, we're being hyperbolic a little bit. This is not a 1 out of 10.
Wait.
What's the real difference?
A third time, it would lower again? Is he mentally... Like, do you have to stare at for like 5 hours? No, okay. It's bad.
This actually is a better film than the original Supergirl film.
Like, does he know it's subjective? Oh my God! This is the final cope. Come on, bro. Wrong. It's not, Joe. It's not.
It's also better than gay. I'll give him that.
Right. It's not.
Actually.
Catwoman, then Elektra, then some of the
shit
that
Elektra blows Supergirl.
I would listen. Just ask yourself this: would you rather put on Catwoman or Elektra or this movie? And I would choose Catwoman or Elektra every single time. Every time.
Day of the week
comes out, and honestly, I think I'd rather watch Supergirl than the Marvels.
Okay, I haven't seen the Marvels. Ash.
I mean, that's a
You want to be
crazy
fucked in the
question.
ass with a 8 dildo or 7-inch?
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, this is not saying anything, Joe. Like, it's
6'7".
not. Come on.
I don't like any of the characters
Someone went 8.
in the Marvels, right? And their villain is boring. But Cram at least.
Listen, when you're taking one of the biggest pile of to compare it to your pile of it's like, what are we doing here?
You know,
oh, hey, the room wasn't as well made
Let's
as this
take
movie.
a minute here. I got to piss.
Me too. I'm dying too. I'm dying.
Let's take a minute here. We'll come back. We've got DSP still, review tech. We are going to do the Tomlinson documentary. We're going to stay up as long as it takes tonight.
We're going to do it, boys.
We're going to do it. It's going to be fun.
I'm gonna my pants. Only got $25 in my pocket. I'm pooping, looking for a toilet. This is gruesome. Yeah, walk into the store like, what up? Here comes a big I just dumped. I did a at a Walmart. On the floor, sure takes some beating. The people like, damn, buddy, what you eating? Wading in ankle deep, headed to the sit down. Dressed in all white, but now everything's turning brown. Washing off in the sink, guy standing next to me. Probably should've closed his mouth, flex a poop flying free. Piss. Oh shit, there's a taco truck, friend. I'm gonna poop my pants. Only got $25 in my pocket. I'm pooping, looking for a toilet. This is gruesome. I'm gonna poop my pants. Only got $25 in my pocket. I'm pooping, looking for a toilet. This is gruesome. I wear these stained clothes. My show's unwatchable. I took a big ass dump on the grip shop. That's my show. I wear these poop stained clothes. My show's unwatchable. I took a big ass dump on the grip shop. That's my show. I've given you lotion, I've given you. You've given me nothing but heartache and scorn. I'm begging you nightly when down on my knees. Oh, please grow for me. I gave you Cialis as well. I gave you attention. You've given me hell. Oh God, how they mock me. Oh God, how they tease. Now please grow for me. I've taken to tanning my ball bag to get you to thrive. I bought a ball dough like Rocketa. You're barely alive. I've tried both jelking and stretching from dusk until dawn. I've tried uppers, downers, and feuds and furries, but none of them gave me the horn. I've given you lotion, I've given you troons. Looks like you're not happy unless I sit down and goon. I'll give you a few hours if that'll appease. Now please, oh please, grow for me.
Everyone's favorite song there, the Destiny song, right, guys? I needed a quick one just to add a few minutes to the end. All right. We're going to finish this, right? All right, let's do it.
Let's
has
keep
a
going.
little bit of style. He's always eating, and I kind of like the man's performance as him, because the villain was, again, it's a weak villain, but the villain was never the point. So we're getting, I
But
thought
he
for a moment there,
creme, he said. Like, it's
Look at him here. Woo! Joe.
zesty.
let me highlight some of the responses I've gotten to my Supergirl tweets, and some of the most disgusting. And when you click on the avatar, what they have in their bio and what they tweet about, and it's like every.
They're MAGA.
They disagree with Joe. They're disgusting because they voted for the other candidate in the election, and they don't all immediately simp for every woman, and they don't worship black people. Like, Joe, get a grip, man. Like, I don't know what, like, you seek this stuff out, right? You know what you're gonna find, right? It'd be like me searching a bunch of like Red Rose Twitter profiles with, pronouns in the bio and being like, can you believe these people are trans?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay.
Every single person, the
Christ.
asshole on the internet that takes it too serious, that disagrees with me, is like,
Hey, you retard.
So
you know
it's them that are taking it too seriously and not you, who's creeping on their profile and seething about their entire existence when they have like 50 followers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And by the way, it's like, Joe, like half the people hate what you believe and what you think. Like, can you believe it? There are people who are conservative. Yeah, I can believe it, Joe. You
this type. But I say, you know what? That's stupid. No, we're not doing that. So just know that.
But you are doing
I don't
it right
like
now.
Supergirl, and I think Supergirl is a flawed failure of a film. It up the character, but it's not because it's woke. It's not because she's a woman. It's not because DEI hire and all the other reasons.
Well, it is
but
DEI
those
hire.
are also as well. It sucks.
Well, that's reasons why it's
exactly.
Like,
yes, exactly.
all these other channels just continue to rile you up, guys, about it's bad writing. Bad
You're the brainwashed ones. When you watch Nerdrotic or Az or Disparu, you're brainwashed, unlike Joe, who had to watch it 3 times.
But you can't possibly watch a piece of shit and go, that's a piece of shit. You must have been brainwashed into that. What?
Meanwhile, Joe brainwashed himself into liking the movie and making it
know.
scenes.
He admits to brainwashing himself.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
And I know some of you will say, well, all that is a symptom of all this other stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, of course not. No, yeah.
Show your work, buddy. Show your work right now.
Oh, man. Okay, Joe. Okay.
It's unrelated. Now, I will agree with you on
It's unrelated?
certain things, nepotism, and
Nepotism.
all that stuff.
So it is a DEI hire.
So it's DEI. Yeah,
So
she
it's
sucked
like
his
an
cock.
affirmative action. It's nepotism, though. So anything to say it's not about race or gender. It's about, is she related to James Gunn or Craig Gillespie? No, right? Who is she related to? Like, show your work that this was a nepo hire. Maybe it was. I don't know.
Oh,
Like, DEI is nepotism.
Let's go
my
ahead.
God.
Instead of highlighting what dickbags and trolls say on YouTube and people who have been...
Bro, that's all you do all day on Twitter is you battle with people and you highlight your enemies or whatever, your enemies.
misguided. You cannot change anybody's mind with a single review or a single tweet. You cannot change somebody's worldview. Honestly,
why are you trying that?
World.
Then why are you trying so hard to do that?
Oh God, come on! Gotta drink.
Like a Supergirl hater, like an absolute, like this film was.
Who the fuck likes Supergirl? Tell me. 250,000 people in the entire world read the Super. How many people watched the CW show? 10?
It's garbage. Is a 1 out of 10. What did you expect? The Supergirl?
It was a 1 out of 10. It was probably a 0 for me. Like, I would never watch that again, ever. Okay.
numbers to be. Did you think it would make $500 million? It was never going to make as much as Barbie. So what I'm saying is that
What?
the studios themselves knew that Supergirl was not going to be a box office hit higher than Superman.
Then why did they
It was always going
greenlight
to make
it?
less than Superman. How much less they thought, I don't know.
What?
So they lit the money on fire, I guess. So let's be real. They did light the money on fire. They knew that it wouldn't be successful, right?
Mhm.
Now, Joe doesn't actually, in his worldview, have an explanation for why they did that. He says it's nepotism. No, it's the message. What this is about spreading the message, the woke message, the feminist message, okay? It's about degrading Superman, degrading your favorite franchises, making them gay as a humiliation ritual to demoralize you. That's what it's actually about, and that's why these companies light the money on fire, because it's not about the money. It's about sending a message, right? But Joe can't comprehend that because he doesn't believe that his side is in power in any way institutionally. He believes that the evil heckin' rightoids have captured Hollywood and that this is actually the result of right-wingers somehow. Like, this is his worldview. Like, it's actually crazy that he believes this, but he does believe this stuff because it's like, well, Trump took over and this is the fascist fault. No, it's not, Joe.
Well, if he took over,
You
wouldn't
need to-
all the movies be based? Like, if it was actually true that conservatives run everything, wouldn't all movies be based? All the chicks have big tits
See,
and
Bill,
be
I just don't know,
sexualized?
because
You know what I mean?
Bill goes, I think he knows and is lying. It could be. But is he actually this delusional? Like, I don't know. He might really be that delusional because he just can't accept that it was like DEI garbage. He just can't.
Star Wars, the same way, right? Come on.
I think eventually, when all's said and done, I think Supergirl is probably going to make a third of the total box office that Superman does. And yeah, there are so many problems with. That is my complete thoughts on Supergirl second viewing and
Until next
Supergirl
time, the
box
third
office
viewing.
analysis and DCU analysis and all the meta fucking hyperbolic culture.
Hyperbolic? What's hyperbolic when we can see it with our eyes, dude?
But he's the one that makes it hyperbolic. He's the
Yeah.
one that's like, oh my God, they ruined the movie. Oh.
He's angry Joe. Like, that's your job, is to be hyperbolic. Hey, the angry review of something that I like. What?
War bullshit surrounding any female-led superhero project.
Are you fucking retarded?
Whether the actress shuts up in interviews or not, or keeps her.
Listen,
What?
if an actress talks about LGBT stuff in an interview, that's lighting half the money on fire.
I would really like to know what his take was on Gina Carano being right-wing. Did he think that she should have shut the up, or did he defend her right to say whatever? Because I guarantee you, like, when Mel Gibson said, like, was pulled over drunk and was like saying anti-Semitic stuff, do you think Joe defended that? Do you think that Joe was down with that? Or would he be like, no, we shouldn't see the guy's movies because he's a racist and a bigot and stuff, right? Like, if a movie came out, let's just say, for instance, they cast Mel Gibson as Superman. And Mel Gibson was saying a bunch of base stuff, like trying to convert people to Christ in the build up to the movie. Do you think Joe would be okay with that? I don't think he would, right? Joe would.
Point, bro.
It's
Or what
just
if
the reality?
or what if Millie Alcock went, yeah, I don't want gay people to watch this movie? What would Joe
There's
say?
a reason, like, by the way, like, when you say, like, they shut up, what you're talking about is that they not, like, offend massive swaths of the audience, which is very, very wise when your movie has to appeal to as many people as possible, because it's a tentpole blockbuster that needs to make hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. If your movie only has a budget of a few $1,000,000, then you can pander it to a hardcore left-wing or hardcore right-wing audience. But by virtue of making these massive blockbuster films they have to be as palatable to as many people as possible. And when you start going out there and touching in interviews on hot button social topics, you can't be rattled when people go, what the and they don't show up for your movie. But that's not even why it failed. We all know that. It failed because it's a piece of shit. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, so you're right, Ash. That's a great point. So the next time an actor says something that's based or right-wing or right-leaning, and then Joe cries, like, oh, like, you see there. No, but you're allowed to talk about your opinions, political opinions. Great marketing strategy.
Well, I wonder what his opinion is on Citizen Vigilante. Does he support that? Or does he out of hand dismiss it as racist? And, well, there's no political messaging in that movie, Joe. I don't see how you could get that, Joe. There's nothing in that that's chud-coded, Joe, and we just gaslight him like that? Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Just pretend to not understand why anybody would think that Supergirl is woke like Joe does?
Exactly.
It's just ridiculous.
Or Snow White, or Star Wars, or insert other whatever here.
Mouth shut like people want. So that's all of the encompassing
He's
opinions.
actually
Hope
like,
you enjoyed.
at least left-leaning people understand why right-leaning people say things sometimes. They'll be like, yeah, I just disagree. He's like, why? What culture war? It's like, at least the leftists actually go like, no, we're against you. He's like, I don't see what's wrong with that. It's like, stop acting like it's
he's
like
just
not
being a big.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
really what it. Because he's just not willing